a Trump supporter, just got denied health care by a left-wing lunatic. Watch this all the way to the end. It is mind-blowing.
I want you to get the hell out of my office.
No.
Right now.
You can't do this.
I don't care about you filming. Like I told you, I'm not seeing you.
This lady needs to get fired immediately. Keep watching.
I am not. Take that ridiculous head off if you want to be seen by me.
Keep recording, baby. Keep recording.
I don't care about her recording.
Oh, you're gonna care about them recording because this is gonna go viral.
Listen to this. Hey.
What's insane is you come in my office. I have the right not to see you.
This lady has no right to deny health care by someone that has a Make America Great Again hat. Keep listening.
The right.
Yes. Read the laws that just passed, honey. Okay, well, he can be sick. He can stay sick. He can remain sick. You in that recording can get the hell out too.
This is
You do
ridiculous.
not talk to my wife like that.
This lady would have got a 2-piece nugget and some ranch on it.
Sit down. Who you think you is? That you think you got that head on? You somebody? I'm somebody. You need me. I don't need you.
No, America has famously had one of the worst healthcare systems in the modern world for quite some time.
My medication, it runs $20,000 a month without insurance. I make $800 a month. Oh, that will kill me. That would kill my friends. That would kill millions of people in this country if they lose their health care.
Did you hear the good news? Now that we have Trump care, they're closing down hundreds of hospitals and clinics, firing hundreds of doctors, and tens of thousands of nurses. They'll all be out of work. They're going to be closed down because we don't need them anymore. What are you talking about? Hospitals and clinics are critically necessary. We need those to survive. Well, I mean, when the GOP cut $1 trillion from healthcare earlier this year, I'm assuming it's because we don't need healthcare anymore. We're all healthy, right? I mean, it's mostly right now just kind of affecting maternity clinics and things like that. Just women, who want to see if they're pregnant or might have cancer. Or like basically anybody living in a rural area that's kind of like out of the way a little bit. It's not anything important.
They fucking did it. The House passed the big ugly bill, a legislative middle finger to the working class, the poor, the sick, and the elderly. And while the rich are popping champagne, the rest of you are about to drown in the consequences you voted for, ignored, or helped manifest through performative bullshit. Republican senators and representatives just screwed over their own constituents. And red states? Many of the poorest in the country are getting crushed first. So let me speak clearly to every single group that brought us to this point. To every Trump voter, fuck off. You voted for this. You weren't conned. You weren't tricked. You knew exactly what he stood for. Cruelty, greed, corruption, and you wanted more. Well, here it is. Your rural hospitals are shutting down. Your grandma's nursing home is going under. Your insulin's about to cost more than your rent. You dragged us all the way down with you. And I hope you feel every goddamn consequence. No sympathy, just suffering. You earned it. To everyone who didn't vote, fuck off. You sat on your hands while the house was on fire. You thought silence made you neutral? It didn't. It made you complicit. You had power and refused to use it. So next time your community loses access to healthcare, your rent skyrockets, or your elderly parents can't find a bed in a nursing home, shut the fuck up. You let this happen. To the uncommitted crowd, kiss my entire ass. You threw a tantrum in a burning house. You withheld support in a two-party system like it was a badge of honor, while fascists waltz in through the front door. You didn't force anyone's hand. You didn't move the needle. You just cleared the path for disaster. When Medicaid vanishes, when your rights shrink, when lives fall apart, know that you helped light the fuse. To every anti-Kamala leftist, fuck all the way off. You're not revolutionaries. You're not fighting the system. You're just bitter, sanctimonious edgelords who hate seeing a black woman in power more than you hate fascism. You'll write 17-paragraph posts on grammar and tone, while Republicans strip bodily autonomy, crush healthcare, and drown us in debt. You're not allies. You're fucking dead weight. Get out of the lane. We're done coddling your smug inaction. This bill isn't conservative policy. It's legislative warfare. The top 1%, $75,000 in annual tax breaks. And the top 0.1%, 6 figures, easy. Regular people, a few $100. Maybe. Low-income families, punished with red tape and bureaucratic landmines. And Medicaid, it's not just being slashed, it's being gutted. $1.3 trillion erased. Hospitals, bankrupt. ERs, shuttered. Nursing homes, collapsing. All so Republicans can tongue-kiss billionaires and call it policy. This bill punishes the very people who voted for it. Poorer red states, rural towns, elderly voters who backed Trump thinking he gave a damn. And guess what? You weren't tricked. You were thrilled. So yes, I hope you suffer deeply. I hope you choke on every cut you cheered for. I hope you watch your towns dry up. Your parents turned away from care. Your neighbors die waiting for Medicaid approvals. Because this is what you wanted. And now you get to live it. This isn't just failure. This is sabotage. Designed, deliberate, and devastating. And to everyone who helped make it possible, whether you voted for Trump, didn't vote at all, played uncommitted politics, or sabotaged the left from inside, you can all go.
Healthcare is one thing that should not be messed with. This is in line, or this has to do with people's lives. This has to do with people's well-being. It shouldn't be joked with. But just look at how Trump messed the whole thing up. Please, if you have been watching and you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Like this video, subscribe, drop a comment in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Whether you're a MAGA voter or whether you're not a MAGA voter, what do you think about all these things happening? I would really love to hear from you. It's quite painful that it's happening now. It's quite painful that all these things are going on right now. Very painful.
If they cut our Medicaid, we would lose every hospital in our rural area, and then none of us would have health care. Not just the people on Medicaid, the people who have private insurance and Medicare. I'm a pharmacist. We took an oath to take care of people. We didn't say, no, only the rich ones.
In states that don't have right-to-work laws, the average pay is over $8,000 higher. The main thing that would help coal miners is to pass that PRO Act and repeal a right-to-work to where they could have a union, and that would solve all their problems.
So you were telling me that people are unaware, they're unaware that the whole reason why hospitals are not allowed to turn you away in an emergency situation, regardless of your ability to pay, is because of the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, which states that hospitals who receive Medicare funding are not allowed to turn you away. And they are proposing to cut back on Medicare and Medicaid. Talk to a caseworker. There are no ineligible people who are receiving it. The only people who are receiving it are eligible because there is a vetting process. All these people that they say are illegally getting it, it's not happening.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone work as hard as I'm watching Donald Trump right now, working to find a way not to pay 42 million Americans their SNAP benefits. He's the president of the United States, and he is trying to find any loophole to not pay out SNAP benefits. He doesn't want you to have food benefits. All the while, raising our health care premiums to such astronomical amounts that none of us are going to be able to afford health care. That's the president. Are you great yet?
The point is to start the process to get rid of it entirely. And if we get rid of the only guaranteed payment for medical care in this country, and we leave it all to our pockets with no support, guess what's going to happen to you? You are going to lose out on care because hospitals are going to close who depend on that funding. We don't have enough money to pay the bills that they decided were fair. Which, I'm sorry, I just had a life-saving surgery and I owe $3,000. If I don't pay $55 fucking dollars that I don't have to my primary care physician, they can decide to no longer treat me, and they will. And I've got to start all over again somewhere else. You all think that you're safe because, oh, this is It's been that way because we fought to get it that way, and they're reversing it. You all have been so fucking pampered that you don't understand what we had to fight for to get you. Oh, but POP, everyone dies. Bitch, apparently not fucking politicians.
Potentially millions of Americans are about to lose health care, and it's not a glitch, it's a plan, and it's already in motion. Trump is dismantling the very programs that keep working class Americans, kids, and veterans alive. First, Medicaid. He's slashing federal funding, pushing work requirements, and letting states cut people off coverage. That puts 20 million Americans at risk. Then there's Obamacare. Without even needing Congress, Trump is rolling back key parts of the Affordable Care Act. He's weakening protections for pre-existing conditions, eliminating subsidies for low-income families, and encouraging garbage insurance plans that don't even cover ER visits. Oh my God. Immigrant families, they're being threatened. Drop out of healthcare programs or risk legal status. So many are skipping care out of fear. And veterans, especially in rural areas, Trump's cut to community VA clinics means mental health services are disappearing. PTSD goes untreated. Appointments vanish. Women are getting hit hard too. Red states following Trump's lead are slashing maternal care, shutting down clinics that provide parental support, even as maternal deaths rise. It's happening now. People are losing care. Lives are being put at risk. And Trump, he's calling it freedom.
People that voted for Trump, you see people that voted for Trump, it's really hitting them hard right now. They didn't expect what they are getting. They didn't expect what they are passing through right now. If anybody has told them, see, this is what will happen in the next few months after voting for this man, they wouldn't have believed. The healthcare system is in a mess. The Medicare, the Medicaid, they're not getting anything again. Are you seeing the way they are crying? I watched a video of a woman that has kidney issues, that is being supported with the government insurance. She's no longer getting it. She's no longer getting it. There's no if. They're crying. They're wailing. They're shedding tears. This is not what they bargained. This is not what they planned, or this is not what they envisaged will happen to them. And for the fact that Trump is doing this, I think is inhuman. This is a very insensitive behavior being meted out to these people. Come to think of it. Healthcare is one thing that shouldn't be joked with. Healthcare is something that all other countries have looked up to US, but as it is now, US is in a mess as regards to healthcare. Continue watching first.
Never forget that elections have consequences. For one city in Nebraska, they're learning that shit the hard way. Curtis, Nebraska has a population of 806. It's the kind of place with a single traffic light, one health clinic, and a fuck ton of American flags. And in 2024, over 85% of them voted for Donald Trump. Now, their only medical clinic is shutting down by September 30th of this year. It's the kind of place people went for everything. For checkups, blood work, urgent care, you name it, that's where they went. And once it's gone, we're looking at a 40-mile round trip just to see a doctor. So who have they decided to blame? Not Trump. Not the Republican Party. They're blaming the hospital executives. Like this is some sort of isolated business failure and not the direct result of the GOP's big, beautiful bill that gutted Medicaid and rural healthcare funding. That bill slashed nearly $1 trillion from Medicaid. Small-town hospitals like Curtis's, they were the first ones thrown under the bus, and the GOP knew it was coming. And now look where these people are. Sick, stranded, and still making excuses for the guy who signed their death warrant. But this is the cost of voting for the con man, guys. Your taxes don't get you care. Your vote doesn't get you help. It just buys you a slower, more painful collapse. So when you say you support law and order and protecting life, but watch your hospital close down under a president you put back in power, you're not just a voter. You're the getaway driver.
So I'm finding out that Trump supporters are upset because they're about to lose their health care and their insurance, and their children that are under the age of 26 are about to be kicked off because they voted to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act, and they didn't even realize that they were doing this. And I'm going to pretend that they're not racist and they forgot that
we have Trump voters who are realizing that Donald Trump only is looking out for himself and his billionaire buddies, and he's actually released legislation that is going to actively harm his own base. And I have some interviews with Trump voters who said that they are going to lose their health care because of the legislation that Donald Trump and Republicans have passed. Let's go to this clip of this Trump voter who said his health care is going to be taken away.
We're in California's District 22, a rural community in the state's Central Valley. This district voted for Trump for the first time in 2024, but now his policies threaten one of the benefits people here rely on the most.
Trump had J.D. Vance and Dr. Oz announce that they are cutting hospice care to pay for his ballroom. For at least 6 months, no more hospice agencies can sign up. We already have a tremendous shortage in this country. My mother was on hospice care last year, and I watched as these nurses ran from house to house, understaffed and overworked, doing everything that they could. They worked so hard, and still there were times when we had to wait, which meant my mother was in pain. Hospice nurses, they're the ones that make sure that you have the proper equipment in your house, you have a toilet next to your bed, that they check your catheter, that it's not overflowing. They make sure that you have enough pain medication to get through the night, and they teach your family how to take care of you. And Trump just slammed the door on that. There are not enough providers now. And there will only be a shortage because people come in and out of the field because it is a very difficult position to hold for these nurses. And some of them are truly amazing. I hope MAGA feels better when their grandmother is begging for someone to help them, when their grandmother is in pain, because that's what they've done to pay for his ballroom. People are going to suffer. I have seen it firsthand. This isn't theoretical. When there are not enough hospice care nurses, people suffer. People are in pain. And this is nothing more than a money grab from this administration who is looting this country and destroying it every day. This is absolutely disgusting and horrible.
250,000 Oklahomans who are about to lose their Sooner Care, I want you to know that it was Republicans that did that, okay? 3 times House Democrats were trying to save your health care. We're trying to save Medicare, Medicaid, and Sooner Care for Oklahomans. And 3 times Republicans voted against it, okay? They wanted to put an amendment that says, hey, if you make $10 million or more, then you don't get a tax break, and that will help save health care for Americans. And House Republicans voted no. And then they tried again. They said, hey, people making $500 million or more, how about we not give them a tax break and save Americans Medicare and Medicaid and your Sooner Care? And they voted no. Republicans unanimously voted no to not save your Sooner Care. Oh, and then they tried a 3rd time to try to save you and your health care, and House Republicans voted no. They voted no because they wanted to give billionaires who already have enough money to spend $1 million a day for the next 500 years. But no, they need more money. They need more money. You don't need your health care. You don't need it. You don't need health care. Who needs health care? Those billionaires deserve another tax break. They deserve that money because they worked hard. They worked for that tax break. You obviously didn't work. That's why you don't get your health care. So anyway, when you lose your health care, when you lose your Sooner Care, you can thank Republicans for that. So when they start kicking out old people and they start not accepting old people in the nursing homes because they don't have those benefits anymore, again, I want you to thank Republicans for this, because this is what you voted for. This is what you voted for them to take away your Sooner Care, for them to take away your Medicare and Medicaid. Because what's more important, the American people being happy and healthy, or billionaires getting tax breaks? The answer is billionaires getting tax breaks. That's what's more important to our politicians in this country. So just so you know who to blame when you lose your health care.
Catalina Jaramillo has kidney disease and relies on Affordable Care Act subsidies to afford her insurance and treatment. Republicans are crying about the Affordable Care Act's costs and pushing ideas like health savings accounts that don't help her. And Trump calls the Democrats' focus on affordability a con job and is fully prepared to let the subsidies expire. And Catalina, she's a lifelong Republican and Trump supporter. She says this has her support of the party wavering. Just wavering? Those expanded subsidies expire at the end of the year. Without them, her premium more than doubles and her medication becomes unaffordable. She says she's terrified and feels like a deer in the headlights. She's not alone.
22 million Americans are in the exact same spot. Premiums are expected to go up 114% on average. You voted for the party that spent over a decade trying to repeal the law you now depend on. You voted for a guy who's now going to make your life unaffordable and whose policies will likely cut your life short. But your support for the party is just wavering. It fully is a cult. I hope you enjoy the taste of your flavor aid, Catalina. This Trump supporter in Florida is finding out the hard way.
The nursing homes that house the elderly ones, you might be thinking, okay, it doesn't concern you, you have the money to go to private hospitals and all of that. Come to think of your parents, your aged parents. Their home care homes are no more active because of all those things. When Medicare and Medicaid is no longer active, what will become of them? Your neighbors, you might have the money to, foot the bills that you want, or your neighbors, they have the money to foot the bills that they want. Trump has really caused a whole damage. He has caused a whole damage in the healthcare sector. This is one sector that should be joked with. You see health sector, you see education sector, these two shouldn't be joked with because health is wealth. Education is where you groom the minds of the young ones, the new generation, the future leaders per se. But Trump has turned everything upside down. He has messed the whole system up that he's not even listening to the cries of the people anymore. He's not listening to their pains. Like, this is no longer, like it's not his business. This is worrisome, I must say. The painful part of it all is these aged men and women that has no one to help them anymore. They are helpless, like, they don't have the strength to go out to work to get their money themselves. If it's the younger ones, they will be like, they can just get up and go work and get the money and come and start paying the bills. But the old ones, the aged ones, how do they do this? Who will go? Can they, like, the strength is no longer in them to get up from the bed, from the sick bed, to go and do the work themselves. They cannot do that anymore. I feel for them, honestly. Trump has really messed things up, but these MAGA voters, these people that voted for Trump, they didn't really try. When, there's a comment someone dropped in one of my videos yesterday, you can check it out. The person said that Kamala Harris won these people. They were won, but no. They stick to the one they want. They stick to the fact that, yeah, they want Trump. Now Trump has messed them up. Trump has shattered the whole thing for them. And it's no longer business as usual. He's busy funding his fellow billionaire friends. Like one of the guys said in the video you guys watched, he's busy funding their lifestyle, he's busy making their lives to be more better than it was before, forgetting the poor masses that wanted him in. This is why it's worrisome, painful at the same time. Anyway, guys, that is the situation on ground now. Share in your views. Drop a comment in the comment section. I would love to hear from you all.